Let's look at chapter 17, the Transfiguration here. After 6 days, Jesus took Peter with him. This is another contradiction because in the Gospel of Luke, it says this incident that I'm about to tell you about happened 8 days after Jesus said all the stuff in chapter 16. Now, the Transfiguration is supposedly a miracle that Jesus doesn't perform, but rather it's a miracle that happens to him. Okay, his face shone like the sun and his clothes became as white as the light. Okay, and then suddenly Moses and Elijah appeared before them talking with Jesus. Okay, now whoever's writing this, if they witnessed this, how would they know what Moses or Elijah looked like? Okay, because there were no pictures back then. And I'm sure they didn't draw pictures of Moses and Elijah and hang them on the wall, right? Because that would be idolatry. So Jesus would have had to have said, oh, that was the ghost of Elijah. Or is Elijah still alive? I don't know. Anyways. But Moses is definitely dead. So Jesus is talking to a dead person, which is you're not supposed to do in the Torah. And then there's this nonsense of Peter. He's going to put up some pup tents for him for the night so they can have a little camp out with Moses and Elijah. If you were Moses and Elijah, wouldn't you want to go back to wherever you came from instead of hanging out in the wilderness? There's no running water or nothing like that out there. Anyways. Then a voice from a cloud says, "This is my son, listen to him." How stupid. And then Jesus says, don't tell anybody about what happened up here until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. What happens if they run right down the mountain? Hey, guess what? Jesus turned all bright, lightish and everything. And Moses and Elijah were there. People would have laughed at him, first of all, but they would have been like, so what? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, but he turned bright. Who cares? It's stupid. And then it says here in verse 11, Elijah did indeed come already, but you didn't recognize him. Again, more shape-shifting nonsense. And then Jesus lies in chapter 17, verse 20 and 21. He says, if anything is possible for you if you just have faith. No, it's not. How many Christians have prayed or asked for something and didn't get it? Okay. Then one of Jesus' most bizarre magic tricks happens at the end of 17 when he tells them to open a fish's mouth and there will be a coin in there to pay the taxes. Now, the ridiculous story of the Transfiguration is also mentioned in the second letter of Peter, chapter 1, where he says, oh, we heard the voice ourselves, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved Son, whom I'm well pleased, up on the holy mountain. Now, what you may not notice is that during these few chapters here, chapters 16 through 20, there's a few quotes from the Tanakh and the Torah. Just little one-liners. They're not really proof texts or anything like that. By now, the authors are probably thinking, geez, anybody that believes in it thus far, we don't have to put so much effort into it. Now it's just like some stupid stories, a few more miracles, and a couple more parables.